video, I want to show you how to work an I-cord edging. This is an example of it here. This is a cardigan called Ravi Junior, and it was knit from the top down. And at the bottom edge, as you're binding off, you're working an I-cord across it. So you can see it gives a very tidy, professional looking finish, and it's got lots of stretch at the edge too. So it's a really nice way to finish off work, particularly with garter stitch. I think it gives a nice clean finish. I'm going to show you on this little swatch here how to go about doing that bind off. I-cords can be pretty much kind of any size you want, but fairly typically you're talking about 3 stitches. So what we're going to do is we're going to cast on 3 stitches for the I-cord and then continue to work those 3 stitches I-cord, adding in 1 extra stitch from the bind off as you work along until they're all consumed. So I'm going to go do this is a cable cast on where I put the needle in between the first 2 stitches, pull the yarn through and put it up. That's our first one. Here's the second one. And here's the third stitch. Now I'm just going to head and knit the first 2. 1, 2. And then in the third one, you're going to join it together with the first stitch that you want to bind off by doing a slip slip knit or an SSK. So we'll slip this one knitwise, slip this one knitwise, and then knit those together through the back loops. And then the final step is to go ahead and move each of those stitches back onto the left needle again, just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and do that again. Going to knit 1, knit 2, and then slip, slip and knit. And knit those through the back loop. Then each of those stitches are going to move back over again. So you can see it takes a bit more yarn and it takes a little longer than a standard bind off, but I think it gives a really nice finish. Then the third one, you're going to slip, slip, and knit those 2 together through the back loops. Move these 3 stitches over. And it also takes a little bit before you start to see an I-cord. You can see the beginnings there, but as you move across, it's going to curl more firmly across. And you can get, this is going to be a much bigger looking one because you've got it on stockinette stitch here. In garter stitch, as we saw before, it's much more subtle. This is for a bind off across here, but if you wanted to do applied I-cord along the edge here, the easiest way to do that is initially pick up all of the stitches that you want to have the applied I-cord on, break the yarn, come back to the start here, and then go ahead and work the I-cord bind off the very same way as you have here, casting on 3 extra stitches and then just working the stitches across.